You're listening to LVB Podcast Show with your friend, advocate, and host, Alvaro.
Hi and welcome to LVB Show. My name is Alvaro and I'm very happy to be with you tonight. Tonight the show is going to be very exciting. It's about Siri, the personal assistant for the iPhone, the iPod Touch, and the iPad. It works with the iPad and it works with the iPhone and it works with the iPod Touch of the fifth generation and beyond. Now, for someone who doesn't know, every single smartphone brand has a personal assistant. So for the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch is Siri. For Android is Google Now. And for Windows phones is something called Cortana. One of the beauties of the iPhone, iPad or iPod Touch is that we are able to have the best of all worlds. We are able to download Google Search, or Google in some countries is the name, and that is Google Now for iOS, meaning for the iPhone, iPad or iPod Touch. So we have the personal assistant of Android on our iPhone, iPad or iPod Touch. And probably in November, we are going to have a free application also that is Cortana, which is the personal assistant for Windows phones. So we're going to have the three personal assistants, and this is something that we only with Apple we can do. If you are having an Android phone, you can only have your Android personal assistant and Cortana in the future when it's available, but you will not have Siri. So we're able, as iPhone users, to have it all. Okay, so before I start, two things. First, if you want to have this list of voice commands for Siri near you, you can email me at lowvisionbureau@gmail.com and I'll be very happy to send you an email with this list of commands that I have put together. And secondly, if you want to be on the show or you have any suggestions for the show, please email me as well at lowvisionbureau@gmail.com. So let's start. Number one, you can set reminders for whatever you are looking at the moment, like an email, like a text message, like a web page, like, even a podcast that you are looking at in your iPhone or iPad or iPod Touch screen, and you can say to Siri something like, remind me of this on Thursday at 7 p.m. What we're doing with that for our listeners is that we are telling Siri to remind us of showing what we are looking at right now, to have Siri show us that specific page, whether it's an email, a web page, a text message, a podcast, etc., on Thursday at 7 p.m. And so what is going to be interesting is that not only you're going to have a link of this provided to you when you are reminded, but you're also going to have the specific content also available to you from Siri. So it's going to be interesting. Try it. I haven't tried it yet, but this I found somewhere by researching, And I found that someone did this and it worked very well, so you should go for that. And something that I have also to point out is that you should upgrade your iPhone to iOS 9 because Siri is even more powerful, adding more possibilities and options. So now that the amount of bugs for voiceover for the visually impaired and blind is limited, is low. Apple has done a good job with that. It's a good time to upgrade to iOS 9. Number two, you can ask Siri something like roll the dice or flip a coin. So this is a way when you are saying to yourself, or maybe you're with someone and you say, do I go to the movies? Do I not go to the movies? Let's play it like luck. So you can say to Siri, roll the dice, and she'll do that and give you the result, and you can act from there. Number three, Siri now is able to search photographies from your camera roll on your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch. She's able to search photographies and videos as well based on time, based on date, and based even on more categories. So that's going to be pretty interesting because you can ask her, find me a video from Thursday last week, and she'll find that and you'll be able to play it or share it or whatever, and do the same with photographies. Because remember that now, because I remember maybe sometime in the past it was not possible, but now it is possible to, if like, not it's possible, if like it goes with the photography that you take, that the actual date it's in there present at all times. Okay, number four, if you have HomeKit, and this is an accessory that you can buy, and this is going to help you make your home more accessible. If you have that in place, Siri is able to help you control parts of the house, including the lights and certain things like that. I have seen that on video and it's super nice. They use it from the iPhone and they're able to control certain parts of the house. This is just the beginning of the power of HomeKit, which is something that is going to be unbelievable in 5 to 10 years for our listeners. So keep that in mind, research HomeKit, and you're going to be amazed for what Siri is going to be able to do with that. Number 5, Siri now always has had a great sense of humor, and you can ask her things like, what is 0 divided by 0? And you'll see the answer that Siri is going to give you. Another one is, why did the chicken cross the road? Why did the chicken cross the road? And she's going to give you something. And you can also ask, and I have done this, tell me a joke. And she's going to do that. And you can also say, will you marry me? Okay, this is especially for guys. Well, unless you have a male voice. So it's very cool to play with that. Siri is very, very funny. Now, number 6, you can teach Siri who you are. You can tell her something like, call me John, call me honey, call me sweetie, whatever. You can also teach her who is your family, like who is your mom. And so when you call your mom, you can say, call my mom and Siri will know who your mom is. So you can say something, your mother has to be in your contacts list. So you can say, my mom is Jane Smith. And so when you say, call Jane Smith, Siri is going to say, calling your mother if you have told her before that she's your mother. And will always work and is very good. Number 7, for the time where you want to be in a quiet environment, you can say, do not disturb. And by doing that, Siri is going to activate the do not disturb section of settings. Siri also is able to do things like, for instance, turn off all alarms and turn on airplane mode. And she's gonna do that as well, so nobody's gonna bother you on your device at all. And you can do the opposite when you are able to listen, and you don't need to be in a quiet environment. Number 8, Siri can take you home, and even she can tell you how long is it going to take until you make it there. So you can say things like, take me home, and you get quick directions there. And you can also say something like, walking directions to Starbucks, and she'll tell you that with voice. You need your headphones for better experience. Notice that you don't need to say Siri at any moment. You only have to say the order that you want to give her. But you never say Siri do this, you say just the order. So that is important. Once you have activated Siri, you only say what time is it, or blah 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 blah. Number 9, Siri can add anything to your shopping list or your packing list or things of that nature. So you can say something like, add X to shopping list. This is when you have created a shopping list and Siri knows that you have created a shopping list already, and she can add items to it. I haven't tried this particular order, but I have heard it works well. Number 10, numbers. This is super cool. You can ask, how much is 10 plus 10? This is only an example for our listeners. You can ask any mathematical question and she's gonna give you the answer in a second. You can also ask, what is the time, what is the tip when you're in a restaurant? What is the tip on $100? And she's gonna give you that answer in a second. So that is very, very, very good as well. And also you can say, how many kilometers in a mile, and she's gonna convert that information for you. You can also ask for currency conversion, which is super cool. How many dollars are in €1? I have tried this. It works fantastically with any currency conversion, so you don't need any application for that anymore. That's wonderful. Number 11, for birthdays that you have on your device. For instance, if you have logged in into your Facebook account, then you have access to your friends' birthdays. Then you can say something like, when is John's birthday? And then say, set a reminder for that day. So it's going to remind you of the birthday of John. You can also say, buy an iTunes gift card. And she's going to be able to help you achieve that. Number 12. When dictating Siri, you can dictate punctuation as well, like comma, like saying, for instance, all caps. You can say that to Siri, all caps. You can also, in the dictation that you're doing to Siri, say hashtag blah blah blah. And you can also say smiley, or you can say winky. And this is an emoticon, as you know, and Siri is going to be able to place that into your dictation because she understands what is smiley and what is winky. So that is pretty nice. Okay, number 13. You can write emails, text messages. You can set all kind of reminders. You can set alarms. You can add to your calendar anything that you want. You can also, with Siri, be able, and I know this is great. You can set appointments. You can set events. You can also tell Siri about, for instance, ask her about the reminders and say, hey, say, what is my reminder for tomorrow? What are my reminders for tomorrow? Or for next week, next month, next year, whatever. You can say to Siri, tweet this or tweet that. You can say to Siri, post on my Facebook, and then you are going to dictate the status all in one voice command, which is wonderful. Number 14. Current stuff in general. So what I mean by that is that you're able to ask, what time is sunset in Cupertino, California? You can say, what time is in London right now? You can also ask something that, what is trending on Twitter in the United States, or what is trending on Twitter in Europe, in England, anywhere. You can also say pictures of the Golden Gate, and Siri is gonna pull on all the Golden Gate's pictures that finds, which is great. You can also ask, what's the weather in Florida right now? What's going to be the weather like in Japan tomorrow? All kinds of those things you are able to ask just one command. Number 15, news. You can ask how many calories are in a burger. Also, you can ask who starts in Superman. You also can ask who won the last Super Bowl. You can also ask, find tickets for a movie, and say the name of the movie, of course. You can also say, book a table in a restaurant, and say the name of the restaurant. So that is very important to know. Number 16. If you are going to make a mistake of asking Siri something, you can then go back and redo this. So that is important to be said. Something like, if you set a reminder for tomorrow at 5, after that you can say change time, change reminder, or delete. And you can also delete it manually. Number 17. What, and this is something that is funny. What airplanes are flying over my head? What about that? Well, you can ask Siri that, and seems that it works. Something like, for instance, what airplanes are flying over me right now? You can ask that way too. Number 18. What are some horror movies out? So if you want to know what are movies in the horror genre that are out right now, you can say it like that. Number 19. Is Superman worth watching? Is Superman the movie worth watching? Number 20. You can ask, show me the Terminator trailer. So any trailer that you want to see, Siri is able to show it to you, which is absolutely great. Number 21. Did the Yankees win last night? And Siri is going to tell you. Number 22. When is the next time LeBron James is going to play against Shaquille O'Neal? This is just an example. Number 23. Who is taller, Tom Cruise or Matt Damon? So you can ask with celebrities these kind of questions. Okay, number 24. What has Madonna been tweeting about? What has Madonna been tweeting about? So you can ask any particular person in the world what they have been tweeting about. Okay, the next one is, when is my appointment with James? So you can ask that if you want to know when is your reminder with someone in particular. Next one, call Jennifer. Jennifer have to be in your contacts list, and Siri is gonna call her immediately. Next one, do I need an umbrella on Sunday? And Siri is gonna look at the weather and is gonna tell you. Next one, what's the price of gas in Syracuse, in Japan, in Australia, in any city, in any place in the world? She's gonna tell you. Next one, let me see what it is. And it says, how many days until Christmas? How many days until October 28th? How many days until a specific holiday? And Siri is going to tell you, which is super useful. You don't need a calendar anymore. Number 29 already, number 30 already. Turn off setting. And when I say turn off setting, it means turn on, and you say the name of the setting that you want to turn on or turn off. And Siri is going to do it for you. 31. Do I have any new messages? You can ask also, do I have any new emails? And she's going to tell you. Number 32. Where is Jenny? This is a friend that you have on your contact list, and if Siri is able to find her on Facebook, she's going to be able to tell her, oh, she's in California, blah, blah, blah. Number 33. Open an app, open a game. So in this case, what you're going to say is if you want to open the Yahoo Mail app, you're going to say open Yahoo Mail, or open Table, or open Google Maps. So it's super simple saying that, and she's going to do that. I do that all the time. Number 34. It says, it says, how long does an animal live? And you're going to say the name of an animal, like as an average estimation of life. So you can say, how long does a cat live? How long does a dog live, etc. Number 35. Plays some music. In order for Siri to do that, you need obviously to have music on your device, and she's going to randomly start playing music. Number 36. How is the Apple stock doing? Or you can say, how is the Coke stock doing, or how is the Netflix stock doing, whatever you want. Number 37. Set a timer for today at 5 p.m. Or whatever you want to set a timer for, she's going to do that for you. I haven't tried, but I know it's very easy to do. Next one. When is my contact's birthday? So if you have your contact information, Siri will be able to determine where is their birthday. Next one. Learn how to pronounce a particular contact name, so you can teach that to Siri. So you can say Johnny, the pronunciation is Johnny, and by pronouncing that and saying pronounce Johnny this way, and you say it, and she will learn that. So it's going to be interesting, the process. Number 40. Wake me up at 7 tomorrow. Wake me up tomorrow at 7 in the morning, and Siri will do that for you. Next one. I'm sure you're going to be blown away when I finish this, because it's a lot of wonderful voice commands for your personal assistant. What is what is the Morse code for word or phrase? So you can ask, what is the Morse code for hello, for any word or phrase? Number 42. Do I have any new voicemails? And she's going to tell you. Number 43. Repeat after me. And so she will do that. Number 44. Invert colors. Invert colors is something for people with low vision that I use all the time, and makes the contrast of the screen of the iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch with inverted colors. So you can ask Siri to do that for you. Next one. Find emails from Jennifer, from any name of any person that you know that you have sent an email to. You can ask Siri to find those emails and read them to you, be able to tap the screen and read them yourself, etc. Number 46. search on Google for chocolate, and Siri will do that. So you can ask Siri to search. By default, she's going to search using, I think it's Bing from Microsoft, if I'm not mistaken. She doesn't use the Google search engine because, as you know, it's a big competitor of Apple. But you can ask her to do search on Google for anything and she'll do that. Next one. Show me videos from Madonna. And she'll do that and you'll be able to double tap and start listening to a particular video. Number 48. How far away is Florida from Bogota, Colombia? And she's going to calculate the distance for you and tell you in 1 or 2 seconds. Next one. Show me on the App Store apps with the name voice in it. How about that for listeners? And I have tried and it works fine. It's unbelievable. So that is a way you don't have to go to the App Store and search for the app. You can do what I said and it's going to work. Number 50. When did Michael Jackson die? You can ask for time of birth, of death, etc. from your favorite people. And so that's pretty much some of the things that I have discovered. I have given you not 50, but probably about 60, 70, because in one I have given you a few voice commands that you can ask. There are even more things that you can ask. You can say things like, I have to change an event from Monday to Thursday, something like that, and she'll be able to do that. You can also ask something like, when was the first time that Michael Jackson performed in public? What was the first concert of George Michael? Things of that nature. I believe you can also ask for dates of concerts and she will look that up online. Like when is, for instance, when is Mariah Carey coming to New York or something like that. She may not know the answer, but she may look it up online. And before I leave you, a couple of things. First of all, some people say, well, Siri is the most popular personal assistant in the world, but for me, she doesn't understand me very well. I have to say for listeners, I have tried Siri in English, works very well. I have tried Siri in Spanish, works very well. And in general, it's about 90% of the times that it really understands me. And I haven't trained Siri much on my voice. I just talk and she understands in general most of what I say all the time. You have to take into consideration that in order to have Siri or Google Now or Cortana, any personal assistant on your device to work, you need internet connection. So if you are frustrated because Siri says, I'm not able to help you right now, try later, it's not because she's failing, it's because the internet on your device is failing. So you cannot blame Siri, because Google Now on Android would not work without internet, and Cortana would not work without internet on a Windows device. Finally, two more things. Artificial intelligence is progressing a lot on smartphones, and on the iPhone is doing that a lot. On iOS 9, Siri uses artificial intelligence to help you find information on Spotlight, the search engine on your smartphone by Apple. And also, it works on iPad and iPod Touch. And what I mean by artificial intelligence, and I was reading an article about that early on, is that you can you can type, in this case on Spotlight, or ask Siri, find me emails that I wrote 20 days ago. And she's able to do that. You can type, I want to play basketball. That you can look up on Spotlight, and you're going to be able to find any email where somewhere it says something like, I want to play basketball. It may or may not contain all the words of that particular phrase. So the beauty of artificial intelligence on the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch with iOS 9 is that you don't have to be so strict in the language that you use to search for something. You can say, email with a smile face, and you'll be able to find that. Prior to this, it was impossible to look for something that was not perfectly understandable by a robot. So artificial intelligence goes beyond understanding normal things. In the future, it's going to be predicting your behavior with your iPhone more and more, and will predict what you want to do, and will give it to you, will suggest that to you. So on iOS 9 does that a little bit, but it's going to do that much more in the future with new releases of new operating systems. Finally, something that you may or may not know. Okay, two things, or three. The iPod Touch is like an iPhone, but it doesn't have phone capabilities, but is about $350-400 instead of $800 or $900. It has voice over, which means for anyone who's visually impaired or totally blind is able to navigate the screen. And it also has Siri if it is 5th generation or beyond that. Now, something else is that the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 6s Plus, which are the new models by Apple on the iPhone models, they come with the ability to have Siri hands-free all day. To me, it's unbelievable. The use of that particular feature is unbelievable. I have the iPhone 6 Plus, but probably next year I will buy the iPhone 7 after October or November next year probably. But that ability is important for our listeners. Now, if you have an iPhone 4S, 5, 5S, 5C, 6, or 6 Plus, which means you do not have Siri hands-free all day, if you buy a battery case for your device, you'll be able to have Siri hands-free. So while it's charging the iPhone inside that battery case, you'll be able, hands-free, when your device is in your pocket or anywhere, to say, hey Siri, do this, hey Siri, do that, and it's wonderful. And this is something that a friend told me, but this is something that Apple also told me. For our listeners, a battery case can go from $50 to $100 or more. But from $50, I think you can buy a decent battery case. Maybe even 40 or 30, but you have to look for reviews on Amazon.com or other places to make sure that it's a decent battery case for your device. And So that's pretty much it. I have enjoyed a lot doing this show. I hope it helps you understand the power of Siri, the most powerful personal assistant in the world today. Rumors say that Siri is going to be integrated on the Mac computer in the future, maybe in 2016, maybe in 2017, but it's going to happen. And the beauty of Siri is that it's also available now on the Apple Watch. So you're able to use Siri to help you with many things. VoiceOver is also available with the Apple Watch. So I think it's going to be a great buy in the future for us because it has GPS capabilities and is able to vibrate when you turn right or left in the streets to find a particular destination. So it has a great potential. And coming to the iPhone, well, 3D Touch is already available on the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, which is a new technology to help you do certain actions with your device and be more efficient. This is also accessible with VoiceOver at this point, thanks to Apple being fast in making sure that was accessible. Holograms for people with low vision that still can see a little bit. Holograms being projected in the air using your iPhone is something that probably is going to be available for us in 1 or 2 years. Rumors are that maybe in 2016 is going to be implemented. We'll see. This technology is by a California company that has a chip that includes the hologram projection system and will be able to work on smartphones in a year or so. So I will be blown away when I see that working. Virtual reality is already on the iPhone. It seems it helps people with low vision, so that's something to keep in mind to see how it works. On YouTube you can see examples of that. You need a helmet that you buy. It's about $40-50, and you download an application from your iPhone and you're able to use that to interact with virtual reality. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk to you about things that are coming to the iPhone after talking about Siri. Siri is wonderful. I love it. It works in so many languages and is an assistant that I use particularly for reminders, events, sometimes to read me out loud certain information, to tell me the time somewhere in the world. And it's just something that I adore, and I think is the best feature in technology in my lifetime, because it's a personal assistant. I never heard of that. When I heard about it, I said, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And it is unbelievable. And it's just the beginning. Siri will be able to do so many more things in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And it's going to be able to control your house, your computer. It's unbelievable what it's going to do for you. Oh, and before I go, Apple TV has already Siri on it, and I saw a demonstration, and they were saying, Siri, show me a movie with Denzel Washington. Show me the moment where Denzel Washington is smiling or is saying hello to someone. Show me the moment where Michael Jordan is making a basket. Things of that nature. So Siri is able to help you watch TV in a different way, much more interactive than before. And so I think this is going to help us all visually impaired and blind people. And so knowing that nothing is perfect in life, that you need internet, for now, in some years I'm sure you will not need internet, but for now you need internet in order to use any personal assistant. I recommend you to go to the App Store, download Google or Google Search, whatever is the name in your country. It's a free application, and you'll be able to have some of the features of the Android personal assistant. Wait for Cortana, the free application that is the personal assistant for Windows phones. It will be available probably in a month or two, probably before the end of 2015. And you'll have the 3 personal assistants on your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch, and play with them. In my belief, Siri is the best in some things. Google now is better in other things. But in general, Siri is becoming the better of them all because of the artificial intelligence and of the things that now she's able to do. I think it's going to be hard to beat, to be honest with you. And it has personality, which Google now and Cortana doesn't have. So that's why Siri is number 1 in the world right now. Not only because what it can do, but the personality that it gives to your experience, which is very important as well when you have a product, that it has life, that is not only a robot, and Siri has life. Okay, so that's what I wanted to tell you. You can email me to get a list of these voice commands for Siri. Please try them on. I hope you enjoy this information. I'm going to share this information with many people. This has been a research that I have done for some time, and this is something based in things that I have found out myself by just trying things. If you have any question or anything, email me at lowvisionbureau@gmail.com. So this is Alvaro from LVB Show saying good night.